Okay, so we've got more testimonies to share with you, because I really like sharing testimonies. I think they're so powerful, and it gives us encouragement, because if Yahweh will do it for one person, he'll do it for another. So when you hear testimonies, it gives you courage to know that there is still hope for you. Right?
Yes, that's right.
Like, this is how I kind of look at it, because there are times in my life that I have felt like I must be the only one in the entire world that is dealing with this problem.
You know, that's not true. You just feel like it, right?
It's so not true. You feel like it. You absolutely feel like you are the only one in the whole world dealing with the particular problem that you are dealing with, and nobody could understand what you're dealing with, and nobody could sympathize with you, because this is your problem and yours alone. And that is so false. It is a trick of the devil that he's trying to isolate you so you won't go talk to people who actually could help you get set free. And
that's true.
Because if you're alone in it, you don't have any buddies to give you courage. You don't have any buddies that will, any partners that will help you and say, honey, it's okay. I know that you're struggling today and it's rough, but it's okay, because I got your back.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be your spouse for you to do that. This is why we can't forsake the body. It's not about the church building. It's about the body of Yahoshua that we can't forsake, because we need each other. We need that courage to help us when we can't deal with something on our own. So I got two great stories I'm going to tell. So one was a couple years ago when I was working. I had this employee that worked for me, and we talked about a lot of stuff besides work. We shared a deep relationship with Yahoshua, and so when opportunity would arise and we weren't at work, we could talk about our love for Yahoshua. And so one particular day, so she knew full well that I believed that you could be healed. That deliverance was actually a thing. And when you lay hands on the sick, they shall get well. So she knew I believed Mark 16 was absolutely true. And so I'm at work one day and I am totally busy. I'm completely distracted by work. I've got a million things happening in my head, and I'm not really paying attention to everybody. That sounds like another story I gave. So you can see Charity was very focused on her job.
Yes, you were.
But so I'm very busy, and I'm running around, and I'm going between meeting to meeting to meeting. And this particular lady, she grabs a hold of me as I'm walking past her office very quickly. And she's like, I just need a minute. And she literally like grabbed my arm and pulled me into her office. And I'm like, I'm already late for a meeting I was supposed to be at. I really don't have time to have a conversation with you. And so you know how you get when you're like busy, right? You get a little impatient and you're a little hyper-focused. And that's exactly how I was, is impatient and hyper-focused.
Yep.
And she tells me, she's like, it's okay, I only need a second of your time. And she tells me, I just need a minute of your time. It doesn't actually have anything to do with work. I have this thing that seems to be like coming up on my neck, and it's like my neck is bruising. And she didn't even finish her sentence. That's as far as she got. And I turned, I looked at her, I set my stuff on the corner of her desk, I reached around, I put my hands on the back of her neck, and I screamed at the back of her neck, get out! And I'm pretty sure those are the only two words I said. And I picked up my stuff and I walked out of her office.
That's hilarious.
And the funny thing is I was so busy that day, I ran to my next meeting and just like kept going, right? I kept doing what I needed to do.
You didn't even stop and have a conversation conversation with her?
I did not have a conversation with her
Just like,
whatsoever.
Get out and go.
I just commanded that demon to get out of her body because I knew it was a demon
Yep.
that was afflicting her, and that's all she wanted. She wanted relief from the demon. At least that's what Charity interpreted, right?
Yep.
She wanted relief from the demon. So that's what I did. And then I left, and I didn't think about it. And so the next day I come into work in the morning, and it's early, the day's getting started, and I'm kind of like putting my stuff together, and here she comes walking in my office. I'm like, why are you here so early? Like, you're never here this early. And she looks at me, she goes, well, I just have to tell you what you did yesterday. And I was like, oh no, what did I do?
You were expecting something bad?
I was totally expecting something bad, because usually when I'm that hyper-focused, I say something dumb to somebody, and I've insulted them because I didn't give them enough time. I was impatient with them, or something, right?
Yep. Yep.
And she starts laughing. She goes, in your impatience, you kicked a demon out of my body. I'm like, for real? Like, what are you talking about? When did I talk to you yesterday? I couldn't even remember talking to her.
That's hilarious.
And I had been so busy, I didn't even remember that I'd gone into her office until she reminded me. And she's like, remember when you were going between these two meetings, I pulled you in my office and I started to tell you about this stuff that was this like bruising on the back of my neck. And I'm like, oh yeah. And then I got a little scared because I go, oh, I screamed at you yesterday. And she started laughing. She goes, yeah, well, you screamed at the demon and you screamed him right out of my body. And because what I was going to ask you is if I could leave so I could go to the doctor because I didn't know what was wrong.
Oh, she didn't even want the demon. She didn't even know. She was going to the doctor and get it. Oh, that's something you never said in the times that you told me this story.
Oh, really?
I didn't know she was going to the doctor.
She was trying to ask me if she could leave work early so she could go to the doctor because she didn't know what was happening on the back of her neck. But I didn't wait for her to finish the sentence. I just commanded the demon out because I assumed that's what she wanted, was me to kick the demon out.
But she wanted a day off to go to the doctor, and you're like, no, get out. I need you here. That's funny. That's totally funny.
So when she did leave work, she was totally shocked by my reaction, right? And so, but she said as soon as I walked out of her office, all the pain had disappeared.
Wow.
And so she stuck it out, she finished work, and when she got home, she checked her neck, and all the bruising was gone.
Wow, that shows you
all
that
of it was gone.
All sicknesses and diseases caused by demons right there.
Yep, it is. It's all caused by demons.
That reminds me of the story, too.
Well, it also shows us that you don't have to be paying attention to what you're doing. You just have to know the truth and use your authority.
Yeah.
Is because I didn't lecture her, I didn't teach her about the Bible, I didn't minister to her in any way.
Yeah.
In like words. All I did is tell the demon to get out. It was so fast I even forgot about it until she reminded me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she came to testify, and I recorded her testimony because I wanted record of it because I didn't even remember that I had done it until she told me. And I was like, see how amazing our Yahweh is? You asked for help, and he gave you the help that you needed without me even knowing what I was doing.
Yes, that's fabulous.
Okay, that's great. Tell us your story that you were thinking of.
Oh, okay. Well, I need a little background. I'll give you background before we start. But when I was in working semiconductors, I was in ST Crolles in France, and the Alps were all around. And the guys that I was working with that were locals invited me to go skiing in the Alps. It sounds great, but it was not great.
It wasn't like the fairy tale romance story that you see on the TV?
It was great until the point I got off the lift. because I hadn't skied in a while. And I told them I wanted to go. I was looking at the kids holding the rope, going up and down this little thing. I'm like, I want to go there. They're like, no, we got to go up there. They're pointing up there. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go there. I want to go down there where we're driving on this lift. So we get to the top of the mountain, and the mountains in the Alps are completely different than the mountains that we ski in the States. We ski slopes like this. This one was like this, right off the lift.
Straight down.
Pretty much.
No bunny
It
hill.
felt like it was. So I fall off the lift because I didn't slide off the lift like you're supposed to do. I fell again. I made it 50 feet, and at the end of the 50 feet, I fell down and blew out my ACL. So they took me to the bottom of the mountain, and I sat at the bottom of the hill for the rest of the day. So it was like 8 hours of sitting, watching other people have fun, where I'm sitting there, my leg is throbbing in pain.
That sounds a little painful.
Yeah, it was painful. So I never got it fixed. I worked corporate, and I was always traveling.
So did you go to a doctor to know that it was your ACL?
Yes. I went and got an MRI. So they said, oh, your ACL is completely gone. It's shriveled up. It's like a rubber band, and it shoots back in both directions, and it's completely gone. You've got one tendon there that's the backup tendon to keep your leg bending properly. Otherwise, it would your whole not thigh, your calf would go forward. So I didn't think much of it. I was just too busy traveling to go get it done. So
this is actually fascinating to me because I also tore my ACL.
Really?
And I had surgery done to it because this was before I knew that you could pray over things and have them fixed. And I was in so much pain I could not walk on the bottom half of my leg. So to me, it is absolutely fascinating that you could move around with your ACL torn off and not be crying in pain.
Yeah, I've got a high tolerance for pain because I worked construction for many years. So smashing my hand with a hammer or a sledgehammer, I'm kind of used to that kind of pain. So
yeah, but this is continual pain, like every time you step.
it wasn't for me.
Okay.
I don't understand why it wasn't, but every now and then it would swell up, and then when I'd run, it'd feel like it was disconnected. It'd feel like this, the bones in the knee were doing this.
Yeah, because there's nothing holding them together anymore.
Yes, exactly.
Because your ACL goes through the middle and holds them all together.
Yes.
So that's why I find this very interesting.
Yes.
Because mine also, like the rubber band, went up inside, and they had to create a new ACL for me out of my tendon and screw it into the bones in my knee to keep my leg together.
Yeah, I just ignored it.
Yeah, here's a trick for you. If you don't like demons, just ignore them.
They hate it.
This is Eric's trick, is we just ignore them.
Ignore it. I'm not looking. Just keep going. I'm going this way. Forget about it.
I am not recommending this. Just so you know, I am not recommending this. I recommend we cast out the demons, not just ignore them.
Yeah, ignoring doesn't work. It doesn't cast them out.
So tell us what happened.
So, every now and then I would get like swelling or that feeling when I would try to run. So I never really did any running, and every now and then I would just get swelling, and then I would take it easy on it and just kind of ignore it. It would go away. The pain would go away. Mm-hmm. But I went to the lake with my cousin and her husband and my friend and his wife, and we got on the boat, and my friend sits down and he's rubbing his knee, and then they start having him and his wife start having this conversation, and they're saying, oh, she's like, is that your bad knee? And he says, oh yeah, it's my bad knee. It's sore, and they have this conversation, and the Ruach Hakodesh, and he says, did you hear that? And I'm like, yeah, I heard it. Well, and then the Ruach Hakodesh says they're cursing each other. So I was like, oh, okay, that's good.
So explain to our audience what that means. When you say they're cursing each other, explain what that means.
So because there's a Bible verse that says that Yeshua says that ye are gods. It says in the Old Testament, and then Yeshua has quoted that verse. And what he's saying is you have dominion over this place and yourself. So if we have dominion, we are proclaiming things over us. So for instance, if you're saying, I've got this, you are using the dominion you have over this place and yourself to do that or give that to yourself.
And the authority, because you have Yahoshua in you.
And if you have yes, exactly. If you have Yahoshua in you, now you're using your authority.
Right. So you're calling into existence by the words you're using. You're calling these things into existence into your own body.
Yes.
And that's something that a lot of people miss, which is why I wanted to bring it up, is because a lot of times we don't realize that we speak as an oracle of Yahweh.
Yes.
And if you're not speaking as an oracle of Yahweh, you're speaking as an oracle of God.
Yeah, that's right.
And the reason I make that joke is because God is a generic name for any being that is higher than you.
Random God.
Or more powerful than you. So the demons use that as permission for them to be able to come and afflict you.
And that's exactly what happened. So later that day, my cousin says to my friend, hey, you want to go ride the jet ski? He's like, yeah. So he goes off and rides a jet ski, and then when he comes back, he gets on the boat, and he's limping, and I'm like, well, what's going on? And he sits down next to his wife, and she's, is that your bad knee? And he's like, yeah, I was getting on the jet ski, and the jet ski has a lip that's supposed to hold your feet on. And he turned wrong. He fell off the jet ski and twisted his knee. And at that moment when he explained that, the Ruach Hakodesh said to me, that was a spiritual attack.
So a demon got to afflict him because he was declaring that he had a bad knee.
Yes.
And then cause an accident to happen to make it even more affirmed that he had a bad knee.
Yes, exactly. So with their dominion and their words, they cursed each other. And that gave opportunity for that demon to, maybe give a little shove to my friend or twist his knee or...
However he did it.
However the wrong information, confuse him on how to get off the jet ski.
And without even knowing what they were doing. See, that's the thing is, a lot of times things come out of our mouth that we don't even realize that we're doing.
We do not.
Because most people don't intentionally try to curse their spouse.
They do not.
Or anybody for that matter. But this is why we talk about words so much, is because words really do matter.
Yes.
So how did your words help you then after this situation? Because you were telling us about your ACL.
Well, it was a little different. It didn't happen where Yahweh said something. He did, but it was a kind of a different story, a different outcome. So the next day I was on the boat, and I went to jump off the boat into the water, and I slipped. And when I slipped, I landed on my knee. I twisted my knee and my ankle both at the same time, and it was really painful. It was probably the most pain I've ever felt in my knee, even having the blown out ACL. So I was laying in the water, and it was a good thing I had a life preserver on because I was
in a lot of pain.
So I'm floating in the water, and I'm going, oh. And then I get out of the water, and I'm laying there, and I'm like, well, that was my knee that I injured at one point. And I said, oh, you know what? Yahweh will heal me. So I just went about my business, forgot about it.
That's all you said. Yahweh will heal me.
Yahweh will heal me. Yeah. And I went about my business, and 2 weeks later, I was still feeling the pain, and I was praying, and Yahweh, I was praying, and I was like, why is my my leg's still swollen and hurting, and my ankle's still swollen and hurting. I don't understand that. Yahweh has healed me. And then instantly the Ruach Hakodesh says, did you ask? I'm like, oh, no, I did not ask.
You expected to be healed,
yes,
but you didn't ask to be healed.
I didn't declare it. I didn't ask for it. I didn't do anything. So I asked for it, and then I declared it, and then I instantly jumped up in the air and started worshiping Yahweh. And it was painful worshiping Yahweh at that point. I was jumping up and down on the bad part of my body. And then after I got done worshiping and praising, I went about my business, and the next morning I woke up, there was no pain in my ankle, and the swelling had gone down. And in this time frame, I had been jogging up the mountain or walking really fast. So I started walking and running up this mountain, and I've never felt that disconnection where it feels like the bones are coming apart. Never again. My knee and ankles never swell up. It's been great. So I am completely delivered.
So you just walked out your deliverance?
Yes.
Yeah, literally. You walked it out.
Yeah, I didn't declare that I had something bad, and I declared that it was good, and I asked Yahweh to deliver me, and then I praised him and thanked him for the deliverance, and since then I've never had any problem.
That's spectacular.
I should get an MRI so I can show that.
So you can have proof of the new ACL.
Yeah, that would be fabulous.
Because he totally restored your ACL.
Yep.
Because otherwise you would feel that disconnection.
It would, because the backup tendon is not as strong as the ACL.
Ligament,
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not. And like many people who play like sports and stuff are not able to ever play sports again.
No.
And they rip their ACL.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And Yahweh fixed it so well that I can do anything I want to do.
That's such a spectacular story.
Yes.
I think it's hilarious that you ignore demons. I find this really funny.
Yeah.
But now that we've learned so much, we've learned that you can just pull the spears out and tell them to leave.
Yeah.
And you don't have to tolerate any little annoyances even.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, you're right. But I do ignore demons. Remember that time I told him my foot's been hurt?
Yes, that's like a super funny little story that only take a minute to tell. But so we're going about our day, and we've been recording videos throughout the day, and it's like, I don't know, 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And we finally get done with our last recording, and Eric sits over on one of the couches, and he looks at me and goes, oh yeah, I forgot. I was going to ask you to cast the demon out of my foot. And I'm like, what's wrong with your foot? Like, I was so confused by the way he said this, that I was like, what's wrong with your foot that you're asking me to cast out a demon? And he goes, well, my foot was hurting this morning, but you were still sleeping and I didn't want to wake you up. So I just forgot about him all day.
Demons are so insignificant in my life. Or no, that's not right. They can't be insignificant. No, actually it is the right word, because no, in means no, so
no significance.
They've got no significance.
They've got no significance in your brain. They're under your feet, literally.
Yes.
So I'm laughing, right, when he's telling me this. I'm like, so the demon had such little importance to you that you forgot about it all day.
Yes.
And you've been walking around and just completely ignoring it all day.
Yes.
And then we're about to go to bed, and he's like, oh yeah, I don't want to take the demon to bed with me. Tell him to get it out.
Yeah, that's right.
And this is why I think this story is so funny, because even in your laughter you can cast out demons.
Yes.
And laughter might actually make it easier to cast out demons sometimes. Because I walked over and I just grabbed a hold of both of his feet, one in each hand, and I was just laughing. And I'm like, well, you've been ignored all day. You might as well leave.
Oh, yeah.
And then his feet felt better, and he got up and he started jumping. And I'm like, okay, well, that resolves that problem.
Yep. Didn't take much.
So, I think the word insignificant is really important, because don't give the demons more credit than they deserve.
They do deserve none.
They don't deserve any credit. Your Yahweh deserves all the credit.
That's right.
And if you would give credit to Yahweh and stop giving so much power to the demons, they would leave because they're not having any effect on you.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're like a bully, they want attention. They want you to pay attention to them. But if you don't pay attention to them, they get bored and they go find someone else to bother.
Yep.
And I'm not saying in every situation, but a lot of times, this is very true.
Yep.
They get bored. They go find someone else to harass because they're not actually having any success in harassing you.
No, they definitely are not having any success in harassing us.
So take your authority and cast out the demons and actually ask for your deliverance. Don't forget to ask for your deliverance.
Ask and demand it.
Yes.
Declare it, demand it, and ask for it.
Yes, absolutely. And then watch and see the deliverance of your Yahweh.
Yes.
You need to actually walk it out. You need to watch and see him deliver you, and believe that believe in him that he has already done it, because he has. He already paid for your full deliverance.
Yep.
So, we love you.